Hi everyone, I'm back with another episode on fixing and repurposing old, broken items. Let's see what's caught my attention today and needs a bit of repair. Wait a second, I've just spotted this old broken soldering machine and it actually looks worth fixing. Let's get to work on it. First things first, I'll take it apart piece by piece to see what's going on inside the soldering machine. It looks like this old solder machine I picked up cheap from the scrap market is mostly just a shell on the outside, but that's alright, because with its original design, it wasn't really suited for working on small metal parts anyway due to high heat. So I'll go with a simple back-to-basics approach to give a new life. It may not return to its original peak condition, but it's definitely worth a try. Next, I've got a spark plug. Now, this little part is actually quite interesting when it comes to handling heat. In its original job, it has to deal with high temperatures and rapid heat transfer inside an engine, which means its materials are built to withstand and channel heat efficiently. If we take advantage of that, the spark plug can act as a simple heat bridge, helping transfer heat from an electrical source down to a custom-made soldering tip. It's not a perfect solution, but for a basic DIY setup, it's a clever way to reuse what's already designed to work under tough thermal conditions. Once the spark plug is securely fixed onto the tip, I'll move on to the next step, connecting the electrical wiring. For the wiring, I usually go with single core cable, with the inside made up of many fine copper strands tightly twisted together, because this type of wire is flexible, conducts electricity well, and holds up better when you need to bend or adjust it during the setup. With one end of the wire, I'll connect it directly to the ground contact of the spark plug, since this part provides a stable path for the current and helps the heat transfer more consistently down to the tip. Once the assembly is complete, I'll move on to the next step, connecting the threaded end of the spark plug to the custom-made soldering tip. I'll take out a 1-to-1 metal connector from inside this 2x4 terminal block and use it as an intermediate piece to link the connection point with the custom-made soldering tip. And I've already secured one end of the one-to-one metal connector firmly onto the threaded end of the spark plug. But I can't make the custom soldering tip right away, so I'll go with a quick bypass method, using a short piece of wire, connecting one end to the threaded tip of the spark plug and the other end to its threaded body. This approach is simple, fast to set up, and doesn't require extra parts, which makes it really practical for testing. It also allows me to check the heat flow and overall performance before committing to a more permanent solution. I bet you probably haven't thought of this before. I've got a simple AA battery here, and inside is a carbon rod that can actually be put to good use. This carbon core has decent heat resistance and can handle high temperatures without deforming easily, which makes it surprisingly suitable for shaping into a basic DIY soldering tip. It also heats up relatively quickly and distributes heat in a stable way. So if you repurpose it properly, it can serve as a lightweight and effective alternative for small soldering tasks. It's not something you'd expect at first glance, but it turns out to be quite a handy little trick. With the other end of the wire, I'll attach an alligator clip, so it's easier to connect to the power source. With the other end of the wire, I'll attach an alligator clip, so it's easier to connect to the power source. This is an alligator clip, and it's one of those small tools that quietly makes everything easier. Thanks to its spring-loaded jaws, it can grip onto wires or metal contacts firmly without much effort, creating a quick and reliable connection. It's especially useful when you need something temporary or flexible, like testing a circuit or hooking up a power source without soldering. Simple as it looks, it saves a lot of time and keeps your setup neat and convenient. To complete the connection to the power source, I'll make one more simple tool to hook up to the negative terminal. It's built from a short piece of electrical wire with an alligator clip attached to each end. This setup might look basic, but it's actually very practical. The two clips allow me to quickly latch onto the negative terminal on one side and any grounding point or metal contact on the other, without needing to twist wires together or make anything permanent. It also makes the whole system more flexible, so I can easily adjust or remove connections during testing. In small DIY setups like this, having a quick, secure, and reusable connection like this really helps keep things tidy and saves a fair bit of time. A small battery is a reasonable choice because it provides a stable power source, is easy to handle, and works well for simple DIY setups like this. Don't worry about this part. Carbon rods are often a bit damp, so just let it heat up and dry out first. Then it'll be ready to use. There's a common issue that many people overlook. An LED chip inside the bulb can fail or burn out. This usually happens because the LEDs are connected in a series circuit. So when one chip stops working, it breaks the flow of current and the whole bulb goes out. The good news is you can often fix it by bridging that faulty spot with a bit of solder, allowing the current to bypass the damaged chip, so the rest can light up again like normal. But before doing that, you'll need to find the faulty point first. And the easiest way is to check it using a voltage tester. And just like that, we've got a simple setup that works really well for small metal jobs. The key advantage here is control. You can direct the heat exactly where it's needed without overheating or damaging delicate parts. That makes it perfect for tiny components, where too much heat can easily ruin everything. It may look basic, but it delivers clean, precise results. For small repairs like this, having something that's both gentle and effective makes all the difference and helps you get the job done right.